This is a sport of grit. This is a sport of suffering and pain a lot of the times. Finding these different layers of yourself. Every day that I go out on the track and I push myself a little bit farther, you unveil this new depth of yourself that you've never explored before. And it allows you to know yourself more. Growing up, even though I was quiet and timid, I feel like I always knew who I was. I started cycling probably from the moment my parents could get me on a bike. Both my parents were elite cyclists and triathletes growing up, and so I just grew up going to all of these races with them and watching them race, and I really looked up to them. Just got totally hooked into the sport of triathlon, and that's how I started, was through swimming, biking, and running. I was just finishing up my time at East Tennessee State, where I was recruited to race in triathlon at that time, and my cycling coach at the time, John Abbott, he was really pushing me in cycling, and I was beginning to kind of fall more in love with the sport. Eventually my dad convinced me to try out the track. I just completely fell in love with it. I came from a running background, which is very involved with what are you eating, when are you eating, how much do you weigh on race day, and that was really, really dangerous for me. I was just so used to this, you have to look this way to perform at this level, and I feel like I've really healed from that over time, and I'm happiest in my body the way it is now. And you show up on the line and there's a ton of different body types of women, and all of them can kick your ass. The day before a race is a really important day for me to honestly clear my mind and pretend like a race isn't happening the next day. The days that I race the best are the days that I treat it like a training session. What I'm going for at Nationals is in the 3K time trial. I just am looking to have a personal best that day. I'm an all-around athlete. I'm able to work in all of these different areas, and that I'm able to be someone to compete against at the end of the day. Unfortunately, cycling is a sport of privilege. It's one of the more expensive sports to get into. That needs to be changed. How do we get young girls on bikes? How do we get them bikes? How do we get these fast young girls that are just getting started in the sport, that maybe don't have the equipment or the money to travel, out at these races, that they're going to be able to get recognized? Especially for women in the sport of cycling, we have such a small demographic in the sport of cycling. I can't tell you the number of races that I've shown up to, and the payout for the men is quadruple that of the women's race. There's so many times that people will tear you down, especially in a sport like this that isn't the traditional. People will try to tell you that it's not possible, that you're too busy, there's too many things outside of it that are more important, you won't get paid, it won't be worth it. But the truth of the matter is, if it's the thing that when you show up every day, it lights up your soul, it's worth every single minute of it.